Hey Choppers, Logan coming to you again with another review, this time for Havenfall by Dabeco Games. In this 8-bit deck builder, you fight monsters, collect warriors, and pixels in order to upgrade your deck and become the best warrior in Edonia by reaching 10 points before the other players. We're going to go ahead and take a look at it, and we'll get to the review at the end. It's Havenfall. Here we have everything set up for a 2-player game of Havenfall. So let's go ahead and start out with the most simplest part of the game, and that is the tracker board over here. It comes separate, and it tracks from 1 to 10 which player is winning. You put it off to the side of the board, and once everybody picks their character's color, you place that colored meeple at the top on the 0 slot of the tracker. Speaking of the character's color, each character will choose a leader from the 4 that are available in the base game that are each colored red, green, yellow, or blue. They will shuffle them face down and get one at random. Once they have them and they have their color associated with them, they take their player boards, which are called war rooms, and place them on the table in front of them and place the leader above them in the leader slot. The leader does not start in your deck for the game. Once any player has beaten the first boss of the game, then all players will add their leader cards to their discards, and then later on when their deck runs out, their discards will be shuffled and the leaders will be in there. As with most deck builders, you will start with a 10-card deck. Now, this deck is filled with 7 copper cards, which are a way of generating treasure, which is your funds that you use to buy different cards during the game. You'll start out with a sword, which is a way of generating attack, shield, which is a way of generating defense, and a spell book, which lets you gain a spell for 3 treasures, which are what generated by coppers, silver, and gold during the game, which have extra piles down here that you can buy at a later date. The cards also have special pixel abilities on them, such as you can see funds here. You can spend a yellow pixel to gain +1 treasure. All the cards have different abilities on them, such as sword has a strike ability for a red pixel, a shield ability for green pixels, a prepare ability, and the spellbook ability is a blue pixel called Decipher, which will let you actually get the spell for free and not have to spend 3 treasures. Players start out with a certain amount of pixels here in the area next to the minions and the boss monsters, depending on the amount of players. Since we're set up for a 2-player game here with the red player and the green player, we start with 5 each of the colored pixels in the area here. And then once we have colors chosen, we take 1 pixel each and place it on the available side of the player's color. This one gets a red pixel, this one gets a green pixels. Pixels are earned by defeating the monsters that are up here. You will earn 1 pixel for whatever color the monster is. Here this would be a yellow pixel, a red pixel, and the boss here would be a red pixel. In addition to the red pixel for the boss, you will also gain certain levels over here when you beat it. This boss is a rank 2. So if you defeated this boss, or this monster, in the boss slot, you would move up your meeple 2 spots on the tracker. First person to 10 wins the game. Whenever you begin the game, you take this stack of monster cards, shuffle them up, and then deal them out one at a time. 1 to the minion 1 spot, 1 to the minion 2 spot, and 1 to the boss spot here. The minion 1 and 2 spots can have rank 1 through 3 of monsters in them, but the boss spot can have rank 1 through 4. None of the opening spots at the beginning of the game can have a rank 5 or above monster. Whenever any of these monsters are defeated during your turn, you will move it out, put it in the defeated monster slot, and then move down and flip over another one in the boss spot. Monsters always move out this way from the deck. Now, whenever you're attacking during your turn, you can only target 1 monster and fight 1 monster on your turn. So if someone plays a spell, later on that can manipulate the order the monsters are in. You're still having to defeat that monster in whatever spot it is. So let's say you're going after the boss here. Player plays a spell that destroys this monster over here. The boss would move there and now be a minion 2. This boss would come out here, but you're still fighting this creature that you were targeting before, but now it's in a minion spot, so you will only earn the 1 pixel. You will not earn the ranks to go up on the tracker. Players have multiple cards that they can buy to increase their deck. You only start out with 6 types of them during the game, of the cards that are determined by the level of difficulty, basically, that you want during the game. You'll also have silver and gold that are always available to buy, as well as spells that are over here when you have your spell book in your hand when it comes up from your deck. The way the characters that you're able to buy, the cards for your deck you're able to buy, are going is you have a rank 1 card here, the next 3 slots are rank 2, and the final 2 slots are rank 3 cards. And there are a multitude. There's not just these 6 that you see here. There are a multitude in the box that come with the game. But you have to make sure that all the pixel colors are represented twice in your ranks as you go along. Like you see, our rank 1 here is a blue, but we also have a blue over here on this rank 3 here. We have a green here in the rank 2, but we also have a green down here in the rank 3 spot. So you got to make sure that all the pixel colors are represented twice in your rank. You will also have available to buy artifact cards at the bottom of the board. There are 2 for each color, and they have different abilities and pixel abilities that will be able to be used. Gameplay is relatively simple. Each player will start off with 5 cards in their hand, and on their turn, they will decide whether they want to buy a card, fight a monster, or trash a card from their hand to help thin out their deck. After they have decided what they want to do for the turn, they are able to total up any attack or damage that they have, and also spend pixels that they have accumulated in the available side of their boards, and use them to activate any abilities on the cards of that pixel's color. And they do that by moving the pixel from the available side to the exhausted side, and they will get those back at the end of their turn. They will be able to go back over to the available side to be ready for the player's next turn. Players continue taking turns buying cards, thinning out their decks, and buying artifacts and accumulating spells until they fight enough monsters to be able to advance up the board until they reach level 10, becoming the winner of Havenfall. We love deck builders here at Logan Chops Reviews. That's why we give this game a 2 based on gameplay, because even though it is a basic deck builder, it's still twists it a little bit and adds a little something. I always love it when deck builders they take it a little step beyond with the pixel addition and the multitude of cards that you can add in, and you don't just have a central deck that you're going against like in a lot of deck builders. This game is really great with the gameplay. We should note that the reason it doesn't get a 3 is that we found when we were playing that if you don't snatch up those silver and gold cards right in the beginning to add to your deck, you kind of get screwed a little bit later on in the game trying to buy some of the higher ranked cards with the uber abilities to use. Now, the theme of the game, we're rating the theme of the game 3 claws out of 3 because it's a great idea. The artwork, the board, the setup, and all the different options that you have in it with the theme, it fits the 8-bit theme that it's going for with the background that's written in the book. I know we didn't go into it too much, but you can find it on the website when you order it. We're also rating it a 2 on replayability. Now, it's not something you're going to bust out every single time. There are other deck builders that you might prefer to play over Havenfall, but this one will fit the niche and will come to your table relatively often because it is a great game. So I'm Logan for Logan Chops Reviews. We'll see you next time. Happy gaming.